Coach Aranda. You can go ahead with your opening statement.
Appreciate that. So blessed and appreciative to be here at this great bowl game with the great people that are here working the game, and just been so impressed just with the time that we've been here, with just being welcomed and being seen. I just feel like the team is thankful for the opportunity to be on the stage, and have continued to work hard to take advantage of this opportunity. And I've been by this Superdome so many times, whether it's recruiting or it's heading into downtown for a bite to eat. And so just to be back, it brings back memories, and to have the opportunity to play in this game is just so cool. And I'm very appreciative and blessed for it. With that, I'll take any questions you guys got.
Thank you, Coach. We will begin our first question with John Sokoloff with WCBI.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Good.
Just wanted to start out with, when looking at the tape from Ole Miss's offense, what sticks out to you the most about their offense that could pose problems for you? And when it comes to Matt Corral, what do you see from him, and do you think he could be a good QB at the next level?
Appreciate the question. When I look at their offense, I see the success on the first play of the drive, the new and 10 play. And so the study that we did with that would be, if Ole Miss has 4 or more yards on that new and 10 play, they're scoring touchdowns 50% of the time in those drives. They're scoring, period, 60-some% of the time. If that new and 10 play goes for 3 or less yards, they're scoring, 20-some% of the time. They're scoring touchdowns like 15% of the time. And so, it just shows that once they get going, it's very hard to stop with the tempo and the play selection and their athletes in space. And so there is some more time allotted for us, specifically for this game as a defense, to adjust for that and to practice that. And we're hoping that helps, I think the ability to keep it simple, and so that we can line up and have some success on our one-on-ones is really what it's going to come down to, And then when I look at Matt Corral, I just see a competitor. I see a winner. I see someone that wills his team. I think today's age, a guy his caliber, staying with it and playing in this game, I think speaks a lot. And so excited to be able to see him. Just love college football and love competitors, and I think he's a great one.
At this time, we'll switch to John Werner from the Waco Tribune-Herald.
Hi, Dave. What's it like to be coaching inside a bubble this week? And also, do you expect anybody to miss the game due to COVID issues?
Appreciate that. So we have talked from the very beginning of the prep of the most prepared, the least distracted. And, looking back at teams that are successful in bowl games, you've got the added time to prepare and taking advantage of that. And where, say you're playing a triple option offense, or you're playing a 3-3-5 multiple blitz offense or defense rather, and whereas you normally have a week to prepare for it, you've got more than that. And so the advantage can go to those that are the most prepared. And then I think the least distracted, whether it's guys that are looking for what's going on that particular night, or it's guys that are looking for after this game I'm out, I'm going to the pros, or nowadays it's after this game I'm out and I'm in the portal, or whatever it is. There's just distractions abound, and I think coaches are a part of that, right? Coaches moving I had a coach all year, and now he's gone. And now who's this guy? And so the distractions at this time are just so paramount. So most prepared, least distracted, gives you the best chance to win in the bowl game. And I think there's just a really another strong layer just with where we're at with COVID, and the standards that we're embracing. And our team's been great about it. And I think everything that we've asked our guys to do throughout this year, they've been great about. And this is just another thing. So I feel like we're in great shape. I don't anticipate right now, us missing anyone going into this game.
We'll now go to Eric Kelly, KWKT-TV in Waco.
Coach, just in terms of, I know earlier in the week you had mentioned that Gary was progressing and looking better and better and back to his old self. So in that same vein, is there a definitive yes or no to whether or not he'll be starting tomorrow?
Appreciate the question. Yeah, Gary will start, and he's been, I think from when we started, the practice prep for this game, it's the first time really he has opened up. The first time he was transferring weight, and I think so. With that became some adjustments that he had to make, because he was maybe trying to protect, or maybe not sure, or he had to relearn kind of the correct fundamentals and all of it. And so there was some of that. Really, that was the first week, though. And I think since then it's just progressed. And last week really had a great week, and then this week it's like, we're in week 5 or week 6. It's like he never left. And yesterday was just way impressive. He's been open up, running full speed, showing burst, showing change direction, making throws from one hash to the far sideline. So excited for him. There's a look in his eye, and I know his heart's on fire too. So excited for his opportunity, and I know he's ready for it.
At this time, we'll go to Parrish Alford, Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. Parrish, are you there? We'll come back to Parrish.
All right, Coach, hey, I'm here. Look, I'm sorry. I think you touched on this loosely here, but regarding opt-outs for these games, what has allowed you guys to remain intact? And would you be in favor of some type of structure that kind of really encouraged players or held them more accountable to play in these bowl games?
No, that's a good question. I appreciate that. I think for us, it starts all the way back with just recruiting and, finding and, I guess first of all, just knowing the type of program that you want to be, then finding kids that align with that program, and parents as well. And then I think, talking your values, and more importantly, living out your values. And then when you get your kids on campus, it's really spend the time to get to know them. And I just feel like there's been programs I've been in and staffs I've been on where it's and I've been a part and parcel of this too. So there's been for sure growth just with me of where you can just be so focused on ball and so focused on the wins and losses that you don't really see, hear, or value the people that are doing it for you. And I think that leads to that leads to bad things. And so I think to keep the focus on the people and to see your people and to do your best to hear them out is is what we try to do, and I know a lot of folks try to do. I think even with that being said, you've got family members, you've got third parties that maybe if there's a reality on the field, there's a different version of it that they're seeing, and so then that's coming into play. And so I think it's a difficult situation. I think all that we can do is really try to get a right fit for who we are, and get to know your people, continue to see them in the ups and downs, and appreciate them, because it's really a player's game.
Thank you.
Yep.
At this time, we'll go to Jerry Hill with Baylor Bear Insider.
Hey, Dave. Obviously, Ole Miss offense puts a lot of stress on your defense. Does it also put a little stress on the offense to keep up or answer?
That's a good question. I think your question is really, I see it as just such a difference in styles, right? And so I think if I were to put your question that way, right, I think it's just very important for us to be us, and for us to not, get out of our lane of what we do well. And so I think, offensively for us, to move the ball and run the ball, establish line of scrimmage, to get the eighth and ninth guy involved in the box, and so that there are opportunities for big pass plays behind them, to use movement in the pocket and get our quarterback out on the perimeter where there's a run or throw option. And then I think the ability to use motion shifts to try to get the looks or the adjustments that we want. I think those things will lead to, those are kind of process things that I think will lead to the results or outcome that we're hoping for. But we have to execute that stuff well, and we really can't get outside of that lane. We're going to have to score in the red zone. I think that's going to be a huge piece. And when a couple weeks back, when we're really working and kind of humming right on offense, we were finishing drives and scoring touchdowns. And I think these past couple weeks, there's been a lot of movement from 20 to 20, and we've got to be able to close the deal. And I think that goes with process and execution as well.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
We'll move along to Jack Allen, KXXV in Waco.
Hey, Coach, after this recent wave of realignment, does this game mean more as a Big 12 versus SEC game? Do you feel any extra pressure because of that to represent the conference well?
I appreciate the question. Specifically, I don't. Now, I can see for people that may be associated with Baylor or our league, I could see that view, and I can understand that. I just think for us, just that whole thing's got nothing to do really with what's going to happen today. That's going to put us in the best situation to play our best, tomorrow night. And so it's a good question, though. I can see all of that. Some of that is stuff to think about, after the game maybe, or hopefully, but I think in the lead up to the game, there's, that would be looked at as a distraction.
We'll go to Curtis Quillen, KCEN TV in Waco.
Hey, Dave, how key is a guy like Jalen Petrie in this game tomorrow in containing such a dynamic quarterback in Matt Corral?
It's a good question. I think when I think of Jalen, man, I think of from when he first got here to just all the change. You think about all the change that Jalen's seen, and the uncertainty. Jalen could write a book on uncertainty, and the coaches that have come and gone. It'd be so easy for Jalen to hear something and from a coach and just say, that's coach speak, man. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna believe my stuff. And so, Jalen's just a very special kid, man. For him to trust and for him to align with us and to be a leader of us, there's a lot in that because he's seen it all. So I know this game means a lot for him, and Ron Roberts has a great plan, and Jalen's right in the center of it. I think Ole Miss is a really good stretch team. They get to the perimeter and are effective, and their quarterback is effective when he's out of the pocket throwing, and so Jalen's going to be right in the middle of all that. I know he's itching to be.
Okay, we can go to Matt Lively with KCEN TV in Temple.
Hey, Dave. Blake Shapen shows up in the biggest way in that championship game. How impressed are you with his athleticism, and even knowing that he was the #1 shortstop coming out of Louisiana, he can play baseball and football?
I appreciate the question. Very impressed with Blake. I remember on the recruiting visit there to school, and just meeting with his principal and his teachers and his coaches that I've known for a while, and just how they would speak on Blake and just who he was, how he treated people, how he handled adversity, what his heart was like. And then I remember going to his visiting with his parents at their house, and I want to say it was we were getting ready for Christmas, and I think they had all these Christmas ornaments and decorations in the house, and it was just sitting there and talking about Blake and talking about just what he's gone through to become the person that he's becoming, and just his growth and his willingness to learn and grow more, and just his his heart, and all of that really is the foundation for the glimpse that we all saw in this particular game you're bringing up. I think there's so much more. And I think it's a reason why he can go through the year like he's gone through without really playing a lot, and when his opportunity comes, he can ascend and put on the performances that he did, and it's the reason why he can handle all of this right now. When to have a game like he had, and now to not be playing and to not be the guy, right? To be able to see that and digest it and handle it. And so just way excited for him, man. I think, athletically, like you mentioned, there's a lot there. There's a lot more inside. And so best is yet to come for him.
Our final question for Coach Aranda will come from Darby Brown from KWTX in Waco.
Hey, Coach, we saw Drew Estrada get off the plane in a boot. Can you tell us what's going on with him, and will he be available to play in the game?
Yes, yeah, he will be available. Appreciate the question. I think, he's had an injury there on his ankle, or his foot, rather, for a while, and he's been able to play through it. And I think, he played the last couple games with this, and I think any time that's a rest time, he'll get in the boot just to kind of help with all of it, put him in the best position possible to play. And so we fully expect him to play. Every practice that we've had, he's been rolling full speed, making full speed cuts, and so it's just been kind of a part of his process for a couple weeks now. So excited for him. He's been looking good.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, thank you guys.